Thank you, everyone. Then how is the energy? Good morning. Hey, good morning. I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm Gladis Araujo. I'm currently the Global Quality Vice President for Mattel. You should know Barbie, Hot Wheels, if you have a child or a nephew or whatever. And I have over 25 years of experience working in global quality, global manufacturing, global supply chains in 4 continents and leading multicultural teams. And nowadays I'm working in a very interesting project that is the digital transformation end-to-end globally for Mattel in the area of quality. And during these last 2 days, we have been talking about one of my favorite topics, that is technology. But as you know, I have been hearing in every single presentation, implicit or explicit, that skills and the people is so important for making things happen. We can have the best technology, the best state-of-the-art equipment, but the people is not ready for that and it will not adapt, then it's going to be very, very challenging. That's precisely my topic for today, but I would like to start with a question for all of you. Then how many jobs do you think will be displaced in the future of work? Please raise your hand if you believe that none, 0 jobs will be displaced. Okay, that is 1. Less than 40%, 2. Less than 40% is like 6 people, 8 people, and more than 40%. Okay, it's like, oh, there are 6 people, then it seems like it's between 40, less than 40 and more than 40. But what is the research telling us? Then globally, according to McKinsey, there is going to be 46% job displaced. This is an alarming number. And according to Manpower in Mexico and Latin America, it's going to vary from 50 to 74%. And many of the jobs that exist today, 65% according to McKinsey, will disappear in the future of work. What is the good news? Many new jobs will appear that are more than the ones that will be displaced. However, we are going to be facing a crisis. In some areas already it's happening, but it's going to be getting worse and worse because we need to do upskilling and reskilling of ourselves and our workforce to be ready for that future of work. We will be more jobs, but in different areas that we may not have the skills. And meaning, if we don't do that, we may have a high unemployment rate. And also, what is more concerning, of course, we're going to be having a lack of talent in our organizations. Then we need to fill or bridge this skill gap to prevent the impact in our business, in our people, and including in ourselves. Then why is this happening? What we need to do to build the workforce of the future? That's precisely my intention today. It's a call to action. Why? Because I was reading this in February of this year, and I was really, really surprised and shocked to learn that according to Gartner, 80% of the HR organizations, in reality, they are not, I'm glad that they are not here, they are not doing nothing about it. Then the topics that we're going to be reviewing today is why is this happening? What are these famous critical skills that are soft skills and also technical skills? What are the secret skills? And what we need to do about it? And also I would like to share a best-in-class scenario from Singapore. Then let's talk about the why. This is a recap of things that everyone knows, but I would like you to think about how it's impacting our jobs and our skills. We are living in a VUCA time. The automation is 60% of the occupations can have 30% of the activities automated. Then we see automation everywhere. Of course, you live and breathe the automation in your facilities, but it's also in the care system, in the medicine, physiotherapy, in daily activities, even maintenance, training for our people, Of course, COVID has an impact because it escalate the remote work, the acceleration of the digitalization, and the automation. Of course, we have an impact with the world nowadays, and we are living longer, and we have a lower fertility rates. And now we are talking about the Great Resignation. It's very hard to get manpower. They are either because they are burned out, or they are looking for a better opportunities or more purpose at work. The climate change is also affecting the way we work and our process to eliminate the CO2. And globalization, now we need to collaborate more to be closer to our main markets with nearshoring initiatives. Then here is a summary of all the elements that are happening as we speak that are triggering a new future of work, and that is necessary to develop new skills. And what are these skills that I have been talking about? What are the skills that we need to build? Then this is my gift for you today. I did a research checking the best-in-class, Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, McKinsey, Manpower, and so on. They have identified between 10, 12, up to 52 skills. Everyone has different approaches. However, what I did is, what are the most critical from each one, and then I come out with a 10 plus a core skill that I will be sharing with you. However, I consider relevant to share with you the McKinsey one, because that's the more comprehensive one that I found in the market. There were 18,000 respondents in 15 countries, and they identify 52. Don't be scared of the number of skills. This is just a map that will be helping you to support, to identify what are the most relevant in your workplace scenario. We will talk about those in a minute, and how to make sense of that. The other good thing that they did about it is that they identify out of this universe of skills what are relevant for employment, for getting a higher income, or for getting a better job satisfaction. And then in the summary, there are 10, and the core one that we will discuss in a minute. The first category is self-leadership. Then talking about self-leadership is everything about self-confidence, self-motivation, self-awareness, and self-management. And one critical skill for me is anti-fragility. What is anti-fragility? Resilience is that when you have a significant event, that you have the capacity to go back where you were before. But anti-fragility is you are going back, but to a superior level, because you are learning from the challenges, and you are improving because you are putting those learnings into the practice. Then we need to truly cultivate the anti-fragility. And when we talk about self-confidence, it's about the self-confidence that we can tackle the challenge of the future of work. And the wellness, we need to make sure that we all are responsible for establishing our own boundaries in terms of our well-being, and role model in our teams, with our companies. And the self-awareness is about identifying your own strengths and utilizing those strengths to tackle the challenge of the future. And self-management is more about the emotional intelligence. Interpersonal skills, you may think, okay, this is more of the same, but it's with a different approach in terms of communication, collaboration, and leadership. The communication now is different. We really need to connect with the people, the mind and the heart, really listen, and creating an environment of empathy, an environment of trust, in which we are providing them the tools that they need, and also the motivation that is necessary. And the second one, in my opinion, is the new rule of the game. And I have seen some companies starting really working more aggressively in that area. What it means is beyond collaboration among peers, or collaboration among divisions or plants in your own manufacturing or business processes. It's going, of course, with your suppliers, but it's also going with other companies and even the competition. I think we heard yesterday from Rolls-Royce that they have this resident approach. Then this is the type of role model that we need to follow, because we need to partner together to resolve the challenge of the future, because we are facing the same challenge. Then we need to open our organizations. And the leadership is about more about the coaching, the empathy, the environment of trust, to really mobilize the energy of the full ecosystem, either internally or externally in this collaborative approach. And talking about cognitive, I think we have been hearing a lot about data. The humans, we are the ones that are telling the machines what problems to solve. The machines will give us a lot of data, and the data needs to be used intelligently to resolve the problems of the future. But the problem solving that we traditionally face in our lean manufacturing approach in the floor now is different. We need to use more and provide more skills to our people on thinking creative and critical, looking from different angles, asking what if, and putting more innovation. And having more know-how on data analytics, or maybe hiring some of your, like Rocky or Moki or whatever, and they train them on the data analytics from David. And project management, I think we heard from Continental, and many of you have been talking about it. We will have so many projects, and I think we have been hearing this 2 days. Everyone is overwhelmed with projects because we are transforming our organizations everywhere I go. Every industry is doing something different because all the triggers that we discussed before. Then the project management is more an approach of using the agility in the way we manage the agile methodology, like you implement, learn, and do the second wave again. And then the digital mindset, that's something that I think is very clear for everyone, and it's very important here, the data analytics. And the heart of this is the lifelong learning. I think we need to embrace for ourselves and our teams that we need to be constantly learning and relearning and upskilling. I think, at least I can talk from my perspective, now as a leader of the global digital transformation, I can tell you at least 10 different training sessions that I have been taking myself to do upskilling and reskilling in terms of technology. And in talking about supply chains, is what is critical according to McKinsey is, of course, the data literacy, the problem solving with critical and creative thinking, and also the collaboration. But the collaboration that we have been talking about beyond our boundaries, it is about the whole ecosystem. And what to do to move forward? Then is of course, the basic upskilling and reskilling. But what you need to do is to think, okay, we need to use more future thinking in our strategy process, a future foresight. There are techniques for doing that. And I think we learned through the pandemic that we are not very good on that process, meaning what is the worst thing that could happen? What is the most probable scenario? What is the desirable scenario? And think about all the possibilities. At least because of thinking, you have a gain on that. And then also, where is the industry going? Where is the strategy of my company going? And putting all this together, trying to identify what are the skills that yourself and your people will need to deliver on those future scenarios. And do an assessment. What are my current skills? What is my inventory of skills? And what is that gap that I need to bridge and put in place a program that will be developing the future workforce that we need to have in the factory. And very quickly about the Singapore. Everyone knows about the Singapore case on 2013? Anyone? Okay. In 2013, they decided that they will be creating the country of lifelong learning, meaning every single citizen will be embracing the new ideas, upskilling and reskilling. They partnered with the universities, companies, and the government, and they created a physical space and also a virtual space that is called Lifelong Learning Institute. And basically, they are 5 phases. The first one is like what is happening here. Is creating awareness in every single citizen that if they don't do an upskilling and reskilling, their jobs are in jeopardy. The second thing is they have the tools online or in the institute and coaches to do an inventory of their skills. Also understanding what are the passions, what are the strengths, what is the purpose, and so on. The third step with the partnership with the companies are listing out what are all these new jobs that I will need. I think Ingo was talking about in Osram that there were a need of new type of engineers, data science, and so on. Then what is that list that you have a gap? And then you do a comparison. Okay, this is what I have, this is what is in the market, then these are my possibilities of growing. And then they have the alternative with universities, online setups, and maybe Nico, with his virtual reality, can partner with Singapore. Maybe we need to talk about it. Actually, I'm visiting Singapore in 4 weeks from now to join the Lifelong Learning Institute. And then they define their own career path. But at the end, the organizations are providing job opportunities, also opportunities for internship in a way that they are ready for. Then this is just a reference for you of what others are doing about it. And also it's a physical space. It's like a museum where you go and it's an interactive process on how you can live that 5 steps. But this is the website, Skilled Future SG. And then just to recap, then now you know all the triggers that are affecting the future of work. What are the skills that we need to develop? This presentation will be available that you can have the short one or you can have the extensive one from McKinsey. There are definitions and a framework for every skill, including in Singapore. And what to do is more about foresight thinking and doing a gap analysis of where we are. And that's it from my end. My pleasure, and I hope I create a little bit of awareness of something that needs to be done in order to prevent a situation that we may regret. Then here is my contact information, and we will have time to discuss.